Hey everybody. So I wanted to answer a question that keeps coming up in different variations in my Bill Like a Boss membership group. Bill Like a Boss is a group where myself and expert billers help guide therapists and virtual assistants who are trying to learn insurance billing for private practice. So it's a membership group. It offers a lot of support, and usually I would just answer this over there, but I wanted to come here and answer it publicly to help people because I hear this question all the time in my insurance billing groups, my free group, and this paid membership group that I run. So here's the question. Hypothetically, if a new potential client really wanted a Saturday appointment and I'm not working Saturdays anymore, can I charge a higher fee for this premium slot? Basically, you're asking, can I charge a premium rate for different time slots? And the answer is complicated depending on what type of private practice clinician you are. Okay, so if you're an insurance-based provider, the answer is different than if you're a private pay clinician. Okay, so if you're a private pay clinician, the answer is yes. If you're not an insurance provider, you can charge a premium rate if you want to. You just want to make sure that it's documented in your policies that there are certain time slots that are going to be offered at a premium rate only. They're going to be at this premium rate, and you could call it a premium rate or you could call it a premium self-pay rate, whatever you want to call it. You just have to have consistent policies in your practice. So you want to make sure the clients are aware of this and that it's at the same time, at the same rate for all of your clients. You can see it across the board for every new client that comes in after you implement the policy. So if you have old clients that are at an older rate and you want to keep them at that rate, yes, you could do that too. That's another question that comes up with this. You can document that they came in at a different time and you want to just keep track of that, have documentation that when they came in that this was the rate that they signed on and agreed to. So you can grandfather people in and you can keep them at that rate if you have documentation reflecting that. Now, a lot of people want to just stay consistent across the board because it can get confusing trying to keep track of all of that. So you might want to eventually maybe give all your clients notice in 6 months that, hey, this is my new policy. I want to give you like a grace period, but I want to let you know this rate's going up for this premium slot that you're in on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Okay, so you can let them know, you can give them a lot of advance notice, and they can decide if they want to move to one of your non-premium slots. So that's one thing to take into consideration if you're a private pay clinician. Now, so next you need to think about, I'm a private pay clinician, but do I want to offer superbills as an out-of-network provider for my clients? If you want to do that, you need to think about what rate you're going to be putting on your superbill. So if you have different clients at different rates, you're going to need to be reflecting that on the superbill, exactly what rate you're charging the client. Even if it's differing rates. A lot of people ask me, can I do different rates on superbills? And the answer is yes, you can do different rates on the superbills if you want to. You just need to be aware that it can raise red flags with the insurance companies if there's a whole bunch of different superbill rates coming in for the same clinician. So just keep that in mind. But basically, yes, if you've got these grandfathered clients and they want an out-of-network superbill submitted, you need to reflect the exact rate that you're billing the insurance company, because the insurance company takes that into account. Basically, like when there's a deductible being applied, they're going to apply the amount that you are charging the client and the client is paying for your out-of-network rate. So you need to pay attention to all that stuff. So now next, if you are an in-network provider, an in-network insurance provider with the insurance companies, you cannot charge different rates for different clients based on the time of day or if it's a weekend or if it's a premium slot. Okay, so basically you've signed a contract with the insurance company that you're going to charge a certain rate for a time slot. So if it's a 90837, you're going to charge the client the 90837 rate that you've agreed to with the insurance company for the contracted rate, no matter what. You can't up their rate because it's a premium slot if it's an insurance-based client and you're in network with that insurance company. Now, there are a couple of billing codes. I personally have not used these billing codes, but I've heard people have used them successfully, and that you could try to use these for extra slots or premium slots, but we don't want to call it that if we're using these codes. So the first one is the CPT code 99051. So this code is used for services provided in the office during regularly scheduled evening, weekend, or holiday office hours, in addition to basic services. So this code is like an add-on code that you would add to your billing after you do your session. And let me try to think of an example of when you would use this. Let's say that you work 9 to 5, and these are considered regular working hours for you, but you also work 9 to 7, right? So you have a 6 p.m. client. Some clinicians have been successfully adding this code on because that's considered an evening hour, even though it's your working schedule, but it's not in the regular like workday hours. So also like a weekend hour, if you work on the weekends, you could use this code because it's considered a weekend or holiday office hour, okay? So that's just one code that you can try to use and see what happens. Worst case scenario, they're going to deny it and not pay you for it, but they will pay for the other code usually. Another code that people have successfully reported using, not myself, but I've heard it reported that people have successfully billed for it and been paid, is the CPT code 99050. The CPT code manual explains this code as services provided in the office at times other than regularly scheduled office hours or days when the office is normally closed. So these are times like if you go to your website and it says you work 9 to 7, this would be hours outside of that. So like an 8 p.m. appointment or a Saturday appointment if you don't usually work on Saturdays. Let's say you just want to have a client that wants to randomly come in one day when you're not normally working, but you think, okay, I'm not busy, I could do it, I don't mind, but it's outside of your normal working hours. That's when you could use this code. So just randomly on a Sunday at 3, and that's not your regularly scheduled office hour, you can use that code as an add-on code for sort of an upcharge type situation. Now, people are reporting charging, I think they put $50 on their claim sheet and they get different rates. I've heard $3, I've heard $15, I've heard $20 from different insurance companies at different places around the country. Cautionary statement with that 99050 CPT code, you just don't want to use it all the time because it's specifically used for things that are outside your normal working hours. So if all of a sudden you're seeing the same client every Sunday at 3 and that's now your schedule with this client, you can't use that code because that's going to be a red flag. Wait, you're using this code every Sunday at 3. That's actually now like a regular working schedule if that's what you're doing. So just keep that in mind. So I hope that helps explain this a little bit. I know it's super confusing, the private pay versus the out-of-network versus the super bill versus the private pay versus the special self-pay clinician. I know that can be a little bit confusing for everybody. So I hope that helps. Let me know what you think. You just really want to be consistent with these policies. That's the key really with all of the stuff. So always be consistent. Have your policies documented, know what you're doing, do it across the board with all of your clients. Don't do special things for special people. One, it's hard to keep up with. And two, if anybody ever looked into your business practices, who knows? It could be discrimination, it could be unethical, all kinds of stuff. And disclaimer, of course, always check with a healthcare attorney to make sure that your policies are correct and you're doing things the way you're supposed to be doing them in your practice if you're an insurance-based clinician or a private pay clinician in your state, because these things do vary depending on state and depending on insurance companies. So just keep that in mind. But this is a brief overview to try to guide you through this question that I get all the time. Okay? So I hope it helps. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're billing those codes. I always love to hear when people successfully billing like special codes, special add-on codes, and getting paid for them. Okay? All right. Take care. Bye-bye.